Okay, I want to talk about Steven a little bit, if you're comfortable, but I would just love to know, like, were mental health struggles always a part of his life? Was it a newer thing? What was kind of a situation there?
So Steven, it's interesting, is I know him as Steven.
Yeah.
A lot of people know him as tWitch.
Yeah.
Very two different humans. He wore this character of tWitch, and it did become a part of who he was, but that extroverted personality was not natural for him. So when he would go out as tWitch and make sure he's spreading all this love and joy and positivity and be dancing all the time for people and an entertainer and such, it would drain his energy.
Yeah.
And he would have to come home, and he would always tell me, and my oldest daughter at the time, because my others, they were younger, they didn't hear these things, but our home was his safe place. So he'd come home and have to like really recharge his battery.
Yeah.
And when you're saying recharge your battery, that also comes with the state of depression, because he would get really low.
Yep.
And you had to let him have that space to really kind of find himself in a darker space, let him live in that. He would always find his way out though. So a lot of the things that Steve and I would talk about would be these tools in which he was really trying to help himself. Like, I'm reading these self-help books, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm talking to friends, I'm trying to connect with people. And so I always thought that though you're dealing with this low side of you that you don't let other people see, it seemed like he was really treating it.
Yeah.
So for me, I was with him for 13 years, and I always was like, wow, like you're really doing the hard job. Like you're always checking yourself mentally and being honest. Like I need to take a second for myself.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of space. I need this. But at the end of the day, I think there was maybe extra help he needed that I was unaware of at the time.
Yeah.
Talking to a therapist, maybe some medication as well. But I was unaware, and I think he also was, because I think he also thought he was taking care of it, because he'd be like, I'm low. Like, give me some time to to build it back up.
Yeah.
But I think there was this deeper thing too now that I never saw before. I would always say to him, and other people would say to him, like, his gift really was that he showered people with love. And now, in the aftermath, sometimes I wonder if when he would receive so much love, he almost didn't think he deserved that love, so he would give it right back.
Yeah.
That's why he was such a giver.
Yeah.
Because if he received something, he's like, but I need to give it to everyone else. Because that's how much he loved people. So it's almost like his most positive quality. I'm like, I wish sometimes he would hold on to it. Like now I tell people, you can't just fill your cup. Like you have to hold on to half your cup all the time, of love. Like, because sometimes I think he would just keep draining himself so much. It was just so on this roller coaster ride that he kept himself on because he wanted to give so much. But sometimes I'm like, I wish you would have just held on to that love that you deserved for yourself, But he was the biggest giver of love that I've ever met in my entire life. Like what you guys saw on TV, it was a huge part of him. But the other side, it would take a lot to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such an insightful way to look at it. Now looking out, and I love you're saying now of you always have to make sure you have half your cup.
Yes.
Still there. That is so important, because we're always taught to pour into others and making sure we're there for people. But
that can be so draining.
Yeah.
It really can.
And you're constantly told by everyone, oh, I love you so much. You're always so giving to you. Yeah. So it's now there's a pressure to, even on the times you're low, be like, well, I can't get low because that's what I'm known for. I'm known for pouring into other people. I'm known for being that person that people call on for advice or mentorship or this, that everyone across the board, all of our friends, family, everyone's like, he had never indulged them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he was that low.
I was just about to say, besides you guys talking about the books you're reading or podcasts, was there ever a time where he got any deeper of saying, I'm at a low to you or to any of his friends?
So really he would keep it very, very quiet. you would just see it sometimes. And I think the biggest thing the last year that we lived with him, it's almost as if I could give it a description, cracks in a window. It started to show where a lot more people were starting to ask him, like, are you okay? Do you need some time? Even team members, like, and not out of like a vindictive way, but like, maybe you should take a break. Do you need some time for yourself? And he would start kind of locking up, being like, no, I'm fine. And then doing the opposite. Because everyone started to feel like maybe you're tired. Maybe you do need to take a break. And I think because he's always been that powerhouse for everyone, instead of listening or hearing people's like, maybe it's okay. Like, do you need a second for yourself? It's almost like he went the opposite way.
Right.
What were those like cracks from him? Like what were you noticing that was like a little different in him?
Constantly needing sleep. Constantly needing sleep, but then being an insomniac because he was. So he would have to like pause in the middle of the day and take a break, take a nap. He was starting to seem a little sad for himself. And then you would ask him, but he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I think it made him insecure because he wanted to always be, like I said, he always wanted to be everyone's superhero.
Yeah.
So there were just, you could see though now, because before that you never saw it. He would hide it a lot more securely in like very safe zones, but it started to be in public too, where like he would have to take pauses and breaks. And people would be telling him it's okay, but he would fight it. He would just fight it constantly.
Yeah.
And I think it's no one ever pressured him in the industry. It wasn't pressure from the industry. He pressured himself inside of it to constantly be better, keep going, keep taking on another project, another show, another this. Because people would be like, take the summer. You don't need money. You don't need this. You don't need another job. You don't need the accolades or the awards. But he would keep pushing himself to keep going.
Yeah.
And it was always for other people.
Right.